Today we begin with Consumers Talk, exploring a dramatic shift in Nigeria's cash withdrawal landscape as ATMs increasingly run dry, leaving many to rely on POS terminals, with the number of POS terminals skyrocketing to over 1.1 million. These devices now handle majority of cash withdrawals in some regions. However, this convenience comes at a steep price, with fees reaching up to 10%. Join us as we hear firsthand from Nigerians about how this transition is affecting their daily lives and finances.
Now, Consumers Talk.
There are a lot of cash that doesn't even go through the banking system, but exchanging hand from the traders to the POS operators. It's supposed not to be.
The new cash kings. POS terminals take over as ATMs falter amid nationwide shortages. There is a significant shift in Nigeria's cash withdrawal landscape, with ATMs across the country increasingly running out of cash. Sometimes up to 30% of machines are non-functional at any given time. Point of sale POS operators have stepped into the breach. What was once a secondary method of payment has now become a primary means for accessing cash, particularly in underserved rural areas where traditional banking services are sparse. As of mid-2023, the number of POS terminals in Nigeria surged to over 1.1 million, up from around 300,000 before the COVID-19 pandemic. This explosion in POS terminals has transformed them into essential cash dispensers, with some regions now relying on them for over 80% of their cash withdrawals. However, this convenience comes at a cost, with transaction fees from POS operators often reaching as high as 10%, a significant increase from traditional ATM fees. On this episode of Consumers Talk, we took to the streets to hear directly from the consumers who were navigating this cash crunch, getting their perspectives on the rising fees, the accessibility of POS services compared to dwindling ATMs, and how this shift is affecting their daily lives.
I use POS every day. Even today, I've used it like 2 times. And why I love POS is that it's very, very fast. Immediately you withdraw your money, you deposit the money, and you go your way. But if it's to go to ATM, you have to stay there and wait for the queue.
You can't get cash at the ATM. You have to go back to where you can sort for fund. You can't just be stranded. So you have to go to POS and sort for your fund. Any amount, I know they will give you.
I really use ATM now because there are POS all around us. When you have your ATM, you can just go to any POS and then you just withdraw your money. How can you expect people to queue, and by the time before it got to you and the cash is not dispensing again?
ATM machines should be loaded with money. When you get your money from ATM, there will not be much charges compared with patronizing the POS. It's so embarrassing that the moment we don't find the money on ATM, we'll be forced to patronize the POS. We agree on transfer. Yes, that's correct. But then there are some people who will need that cash at the moment. But getting there, you will not be able to get the cash.
CBN should just work, or banks should work on that ATM. Let money be there 24 hours so that they'll be able to help masses to do their daily business.
I prefer using ATM, but because it's not available around me, I would have loved to use ATM if it's much around me. I often use POS because it's what I see around me. The charges here is not convenient too, because ATM charge nothing. If I go to my bank now, they will charge nothing. But because branches are not always around, if they can create more branches of ATM, they can be available every bus stop. It will be better.
The use of POS is very rampant in the country right now, and I believe it's even more better than ATM machine, because by the time you keep on using ATM, you have a lot of queues there. But in POS, you just make any choice. You can move from one place to another. You see POS very easy and quiet. I don't care about charges. It doesn't waste time at all.
POS will give you money, but higher the charges. And I don't mind paying it. POS is everywhere. If you go like this, you see more than 10 POS. That make daily transaction very, very easy for people.
Most of the banks, they are no longer what they're supposed to be. Maybe some of them are not liquid because of statutory requirements by the central bank, which is strangulating them. They depend more on POS agency. Those POS agents, most of them are their customers. They make more money. Some of them, when there is scarcity, they tend to increase the commission they collect. So it's making life difficult for the poor masses.